Hey everybody, I would like just a few minutes of your time to go over some things that could help you have a really great start to your semester. The first thing that I would like to talk about is your Nash Community College student email account. This is a very busy time for emails, but it's also a very important time. Most of your instructors are going to email you this week, if they haven't already. These emails contain very important information about your classes this semester. It's also common for the financial aid office, a lot of clubs and activities, tutoring availability and opportunities, free printing, and so much more are communicated typically through email this week. It's very important that you check your email every single day, starting today. To get into your Nash Community College student email account, you should go to the Nash Community College homepage, which is www.nashcc.edu. The typical pattern for a student's username is your first initial, your middle initial, your full last name, and then the last 3 digits of your Nash Community College student ID number. One other thing I strongly suggest is that you change the Gmail setup to eliminate promotions folders. To log into your email account, you should go to the Nash Community College homepage. At the top, click on Student Portal, and the option all the way to the right is Email. You will be prompted for your username and your password, and then taken to your Nash Community College email home screen. To turn off your promotions folders, you should go to the widget here in the top left corner of your email home screen. Those are the email settings, and we want to see all settings. If you choose the Inbox tab here at the top, the only category that you should have checked here is primary. All of the other checkboxes should be unchecked. They should be empty, blank. If you have any that are checked, click on them to uncheck them. And then down at the bottom, there will be an option to save your changes, and you're all done. You can go back to your inbox. Email is going to be a very important part of your life moving forward. So get in the habit now of checking your Nash Community College student email very regularly. It's also really important that here at the beginning of the semester, you check your class schedule. It's possible that some of the details for your classes have changed. Classrooms, instructors, or modality may have changed from the first publishing of the class schedule back in October to the start of classes now. So the way you should do this is you should log into your WebAdvisor account. You use the exact same login credentials for your WebAdvisor account as you do for your email. So start at the Nash Community College homepage, just like we did with the email, and under Student Portal, we are going to click on WebAdvisor. You will, again, use the exact same login credentials. Once you are logged in, you should go to the Students menu, and you should check your class schedule down here on the right, and make sure that your days, times, modality, whether it's online or virtual or on campus, make sure all of those are exactly what you're expecting, and if they're not, you need to reach out to your advisors to help fix your schedule, or you need to contact the instructor for that class to get some clarification. There are a lot of other very useful things that you could use WebAdvisor for. You need to purchase all of your necessary materials for all of your classes. If you don't know what the required materials for your classes are, you can look them up on our campus store website, which is www.nashcampusstore.com. You can look up the required course materials by class, so you need to know the 3-letter prefix and the course number, and sometimes even the section number in order to properly search for your textbooks. But also, do not forget, especially people, since we're virtual or online, think that all we have to do is sit down in front of the computer and be present in order to participate in class, and that is not true. You need to treat your classes this semester, no matter how they are taught, as if they are on-campus classes. You need to take notes of your lecture videos to help you pay attention and stay engaged with the material. So you are going to want to get a notebook for each one of your classes where you can keep all of those notes. You are also going to need a good supply of pens and pencils. If you are in a math class this semester, you will need to purchase a graphing calculator. Some other things that might be helpful, folders, highlighters. One thing that is an absolute must is a planner. You need to keep track of what day you have each of your classes and what the assignments are due that day, so you can help yourself to plan ahead, which will help you to complete more of your assignments and on time, and it will also reduce stress. A quick example of how you can search for your textbooks from the Nash Campus Store website. Over here on the left in the categories box, you'll see textbook lookup and ordering as your first option. I'm going to click on that. The semester is spring 2021, and I am going to look up the course materials required for pre-calculus algebra, which is Math 171. All of the sections are going to use the exact same course materials. It says that you need a pre-calculus bundle with My Math Lab Plus 2017 edition, and the author is Bittinger, and there's an ISBN number here. Because of this My Math Labs Plus code that's required. That is a Nash Community College specific code that can only be purchased through our bookstore. If you're going to go ahead and order them from the website, you can check the box and add it to your cart, and then go on to look up anything that you need for your next class under textbook lookup and ordering. Another very useful activity this week is to make yourself a calendar. This again will reduce your stress in the long run. You should map out as much as possible exactly when your classes are, exactly when you have work hours scheduled at your job, when you're going to have time for studying. If you belong to any community organizations or clubs or groups that have regular meetings, you should schedule those in here as well. So you have an accurate depiction of exactly what your free time looks like and what days it's on and where it is, so that you can plan ahead for completing your assignments by the due dates and for setting up study time to be successful on your exams. Included in this email is a PDF file to an example of a blank schedule that, if you like, you can print and use. Now, you could do this just once if your schedule looks very similar every single week, or you might have to sit down on Sundays and fill this out because every single one of your weeks is different, which is quite possible. One very important thing that you need to remember today and throughout the rest of the semester is to communicate. The first two groups of people I have on that list are your friends and your family. In order to be successful, you need to communicate your goals and your plans with your friends and family so that they know if you need to pull back from obligations, if you need to pull back some of your free time, that they won't pressure you and push you off your path. So make sure that you have clearly expressed to your family and friends that, look, the spring semester has started. I am determined to do great this semester. I need some help with watching the kids, cooking dinners, finding some quiet study space or some quiet study time, things like that. You also need to communicate your class schedule with your employer. Having to work is not a valid excuse for skipping class. If you cannot attend your required class meetings, then you need to get out of that class. So make sure your employer knows exactly what your class schedule is, and that there's also a buffer of time if you've got to do some traveling between work and school, or keep in contact with your advisor, your instructors. Let them know what's going on in your life, if you're falling behind, if you have questions, if you need help. That's what we are here for. We are here to help you. And teach you everything you need to know to continue to be successful in college. And a lot of times we don't know that you need help unless you communicate that with us. Stay in communication with your classmates as well. It's a really good idea, especially in the much more difficult classes such as the calculus and the physics, to form study groups. In this day and age, you could all have your own free Zoom accounts and send your link to your study group and all meet virtually even. So stay in contact with your classmates. There may be some things that you're allowed to do together and divide and conquer some of the work. There may be some things that some of your classmates are good at and others that you are good at that you could share some knowledge. Any way that you can contribute to your learning will be beneficial in the long run. And finally, for today, the first day of class and every day of class, you need to show up. And I mean that literally, like figuratively. Show up to all of your classes on time with all of your necessary materials, which might be your textbook, your notebook, your calculator, something to write with, you're ready to log into your MyLabs Plus account. You need to be prepared to learn. Be ready to participate. Do not be afraid to ask questions. If all you do is let your instructor sit there and lecture, then you're really in no different than an online class. So ask questions, participate. Nobody cares if you answer questions incorrectly. Most likely, your classmates, few of them are thinking of the exact same incorrect answer, and there are several people in the room that need a better explanation of why that answer is not correct and how to proceed to the correct answer. And a silly little saying, wash, rinse, repeat. Don't just do this the first day. You need to do this every day. And that is how we build grit.